Hi folks, this is Jethro.
And Lugnut.
We're just fresh off of getting back home from Jaxcon out in Jacksonville. Had a great time, really great show. A lot of good builds on the tables, getting to meet up with a lot of great guys, and it was a lot of fun. So we were just gonna get on here and do a quick recap of what we did. The stash ads. You always get stash ads at a model show.
It's a model show.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're not getting stash ads after a model show, you're not doing model shows correctly.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you.
So we got quite a few things we picked up along the way between purchases and the raffle. So we got that going on. I got a recap of the four behind us here, the cars that I took to the show. So we'll touch on those a little bit. We'll go ahead and start with the stash ads. Got a bunch of stuff here. Purchased that really great deals. The best deals you're gonna get are at model shows. So I picked up yet another NASCAR kit, a Davey Allison one. We actually already have this kit, but we're gonna use this as a donor for another kit that Lugnut's got decals for. So that's why we picked that one up.
Can always use an old NASCAR kit because you can always get more decals and make it a totally different car for the same body style, and they're all cheap right now. So,
and I picked up a funny car. That's just no particular reason for that. I just saw it there and looked at it a couple of times and ended up picking it up. It's a 71, I believe, Dodge Demon, which is the same as a Plymouth Duster. So this is a 93 release, so it's a repop on that one, but it's a cool car. It's a neat, funny car. I like the colors on it. Ed the Ace McCulloch drove it. I always liked him. So, and I picked up a little Model A hot rod. You can build it either as a almost like a rat rod or as a kind of a show rod. They got parts to do both. There's no stock version of that, but you can do either show car you want. So, or like I say, a rat rod, cruiser, hot rod, or the show car. And I picked up a 66 Thunderbird. Not exactly another one. I don't know why. These are cool cars. I always like the styling of the Thunderbirds. So these things were all like $10 each or less. Typically, you could work out deals like that. So there was plenty of them around. 57 Corvette. This is one that I built. This same kit back in the 70s, I think it was. This is like a 77 release. So probably the same kit. I built one of those, and I still got remnants of it, a piece here and there. It kind of fell off a shelf and blew up. So,
well, to be fair, you did move from Miami to 6 hours away at one point during that meantime.
And the last thing I got was this 2006 Ford GT. That's such an awesome car. I was working at a Ford dealership when this whole process was going on of bringing back the GT. And from the GT40 to all the racing success they had, they came up with this car. And like I say, I was working at a Ford dealership as a mechanic then, and we actually did get one of those in, and it was sold online. It was an export deal, but we did actually have one of those, a little country dealership here. I ended up getting one of those. So
little towed up country dealership ended up with a GT.
And big old Alachua, Florida. And I got this
ad
sticker. Got this sticker sheet. The guy had them there. Picked that up for I think $5. A lot of good garage wall art for the dioramas, and you can do whatever. There's a lot there. So for $5, I went ahead and picked that up.
Worth the shot.
And now we'll go with what Mr. Lugnut got here.
Well, to start with, I actually got a shop card and an addition from our old buddy Rick Zink. He was walking around carrying around his shop cards, so I got that, and I got a little supervisor for the shop as well, for my shop, my model shop, which Dad nicknamed his Poncho, so we've decided this one shall be Lefty. For those of you who know, you know, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
So I've got my own little skeleton shop supervisor, and I'm very happy to have him. So thank you, Rick.
Yeah. That was cool.
This one was first up. Let me see. What have I got? I'll just go ahead with the raffle stuff because it's stacked on top first. First up was the Color Me Gone 64 Super Stock Dodge. It was I think in the other race category, other racing cars category.
Something like that.
Pretty much all of my tickets I dumped into racing car stuff. So this one was one of the first ones that I got drawn. I mean, it's a neat looking car. Super stock Dodges are, as Dad said on the ride home, largely uncredited with a massive muscle car surge that happened. They did a lot for that and don't get talked about a ton for that. But that's a pretty neat kit. It's a Lindbergh kit. And then the next, pretty much most of my tickets went to the NASCAR section specifically, but I put some in the other ones. But I went into a lot of NASCAR kits. So we got this Darrell Waltrip from 1997, I believe. He ran several, they were supposed to be throwbacks to his older cars, and not really crazy about the paint schemes that they came up with, so this will pretty much be a donor kit for another 97, 98 Monte Carlo, which are cool body style cars, and they look really good when they're built right, so it makes for a good one. Again, as I said with the Davey Allison kit that we already have duplicates of, doesn't matter, you can always make it another race car. They're all built the same. This one, however, will not be donored out. The 50th anniversary of NASCAR gold-plated Chevrolet Monte Carlo from 1998. This one is very, very neat. I've never seen this one as a model kit before, but it was in the raffle, and somehow I managed to win it. So that was pretty neat. It's a gold-plated body already done, so all you got to do is build and decal it, probably just paint the chassis a little bit, and that'll probably be it. So that's pretty neat, and like I said, having never seen that one before and now owning it, it's pretty cool. It's a fairly unique piece.
That's a cool piece of NASCAR history. Celebrating the 50 years. It's not a particular driver or team. It's just from NASCAR. So it's a pretty cool deal.
And I've got a lot of stuff upstairs from the 50th anniversary of NASCAR with that insignia thing that they designed for everywhere. It's all over my. You'd think my bedroom came out of 1998 with how much NASCAR stuff's in there. One more thing I got at the raffle, bit out of left field for this one. I got a Star Destroyer. Which this is my first non-automotive model kit that I can. Well, no, second. I did build the one Star Wars little ATST. It's about yay big, little walker thing. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
But this is a full size. Well, not full size, but it's a lot bigger, proper big Star Destroyer. This one is a 1997 kit celebrating 20 years after the original Star Wars' release, which is really neat. And though the plastic of the outside of the box has been taken off and it's been opened, all the plastic inside is still intact. Everything is all still there, and I'm very much looking forward to building this one and having it up on a shelf. And I'm probably going to look into lighting this one. Be one of my first lit up model kits on display, and I'm kind of excited about that because I've always loved Star Wars. I've always been a huge nerd, basically. So having a Star Destroyer is pretty cool. And as I did with PamsCon, apparently my new tradition with these model conventions, all two that I've been to, I buy a multi-pack, specifically a NASCAR multi-pack. This one is of all three makes and manufacturers. They got the Ford, the Chevy, and the Pontiac. Sterling Marlin's Maxwell House car, which longtime viewers will recognize. I built one of those last year for the NASCAR group build. Ernie Irvin's Lumina for the Kodak car, and Richard Petty in the Pontiac. This is a pretty neat one. Big three pack from AMT Ertl. It came out in 92 is the copyright date, but best I can tell, these are 1991 modeled cars, basically. The decal sheets did not survive. The plastic was wrapped, but they are stuck to several other things. The decals are they're dead.
Stuck to the cellophane.
Yeah.
The kits are sealed in.
Decals are pretty much a.
We're gonna try a little steaming on them, but I don't think we're gonna save them.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I've already built the Maxwell House car, so that one's gonna get donored anyway. We've got another Kodak car sitting up in the closet, so if that one can't be saved, it's not a huge loss. We can always use a Lumina. There's plenty cool paint schemes to go around for Luminas. So that was that pretty much. I really heavily budgeted myself this year because I remember what happened at PamsCon. So I had to a lot back, but I did pretty well. Most of my stuff came from the raffle, and pretty happy about that. I did get a couple other non-model related things. They're just over there on the couch. Pretty cool
So,
stuff, though.
Yeah, and that's about it for our stash ads. We did pretty good. Now all we need to do is build a storage building to put all this stuff in, because
Yeah.
we don't have room for it. But
Maybe another shed.
That's a good problem to have. We all enjoy having too much stuff. So
Yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to touch on, I brought, these are the 4 cars that I brought. They're within the last year I built all of those, and these 2 over here, the GTO, that was the Street Machine group build for Blue Ox. Jason over at Blue Ox Model Shop Street Machine group build. I built that one for that as a 70s style Street Machine, red, white, and blue for 76, the bicentennial year. That's pretty much what I did with that. And then my 36 Ford that I built as a 50s hot rod.
That was for the Fat Fenders.
The Fat Fenders Fins and Chrome group build is just now wrapping up. I did those 2, and those 2 actually won silver medals or medallions, whatever you want to call them. But each of those got a silver medallion, which those are my first ever awards for building models, and it's pretty cool. I do not build models for trophies. I do not build them for that. That's not really what I'm into, but it's still cool, and it's an honor to get one. I'm very appreciative of that they thought that much of my old builds there. So I do it mainly for the fun of building them, and the model shows is more to meet all the guys that are there. We had a blast.
And support the venues, just to keep those kind of things going.
Keep the hobby alive like it is right now, but meeting up with the other guys. There's so many guys. We spent the whole day just chatting with people that we get to see once or twice a year.
Yeah,
very cool.
Several of them that I hadn't had the chance to meet yet, because they didn't make it to PamsCon, but make it to Jaxcon. So I hadn't had a chance to meet up with several. I know them from YouTube comments and being on this channel and everything, but had never had a chance to meet up with several of them. So that was pretty neat.
Yeah, but that kind of wraps it up for our recap of Jaxcon. I'm gonna have a video of the actual show itself, all the, some pictures of the cars on display and everything. Lots of great, really, really nice stuff there.
Yeah.
The judging took a long time because it was very difficult.
Rightfully so, though.
Very difficult job to do. That is, I do not envy them one bit for having to pick out what they're going to award, because there's some awesome builds there.
Really incredible stuff. Some highly detailed. Some of the pictures aren't going to do justice, especially for the dioramas. And the set builds that they had. They were. I spent almost 10 minutes looking at least 1 or 2 of them, just taking in all the detail. The amount of hours that had to be going into those.
There's going to be lots of videos.
So
a lot of people that are taking pictures and videos. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't want to keep y'all. This is a long video for me.
Yeah.
But I don't
good at
usually
rambling.
do this long. But anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for subbing the channel and the views and the comments. I really enjoy all of that, and I would really appreciate all my subscribers and the ones that support my channel. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and I hope y'all are having a good weekend. It was a good weekend to do a model show. It was nasty weather outside, raining the whole time, and what better way to spend it than inside looking at model cars and talking to people about model cars
and buying more model cars.
Yeah. So that's it for now. We're going to go ahead and sign out and not keep you any longer. So y'all have a good rest of the week next week, and we will talk at y'all later. This is Jethro.
And Lugnut,
over and out.